Beautiful soul? Hey, what's up, my hey, what's up, my beautiful soul? Hey, what's up, my beautiful soul? What's up, my beautiful soul? What's up, my beautiful soul? Have you ever believed something about yourself for so long that it just felt true? Because same. Buckle up because today we're exposing the biggest identity thief of all time. Stay tuned for more. Look, some of us have been out here living with a stolen identity for years and didn't even file a police report. I used to think that I was naturally shy. I thought that was my personality, and that was a big lie. Shyness is not a trait that is God given. It's usually connected to fear or some kind of fear. You understand? Anxiety is something. It's usually connected to something like that. My shyness was actually rooted in a past trauma, something that I experienced while I was being bullied at school. There was one particular instance when my when I was in my ninth grade and we were having form time. That is a time that we spend with our form teacher. And that slot or that hour was usually used to do whatever we want, whatever the teacher said we want. Okay. And that hour, my teacher wanted us to do a little talent show, to show off our talents so we can get to know each other. Now, two of the guys who always bullied me decided that they wanted to show off their talent, and I was their inspiration. Yeah, me. So you already know that did not go well, right? Tell me why these two decided to use their God given vocal cords to do the voice. Bully edition. They went up and decided to sing a song that was inspired by me. They wrote lyrics, and they used the names that they would always call me by, like Five-Star General, the shoe polish, Black Pan Black. And they described how black and ugly I was. Yeah, in front of the entire class and my form teacher. And my teacher, the adult in the room, was like,
Excuse me?
well, sis, this ain't the voice. I sat there in the second row with tears streaming down my eyes. And this woman sat there like she was in the front row seat of a whole concert. I was so overwhelmed with tears. I completely broke down. Like I was in total shock. I did not know what to do with myself. I wanted to just die in that moment. That moment, I just wanted to die. Like I didn't want to exist. I wanted to cease from existence. I was sitting there like, Jesus, if you want to rapture me now, that will be great. But apparently, that was not the Lord's schedule at all. I've never felt so humiliated in my life. Never have I ever felt so humiliated in my entire life. I just cried my eyes out. I cried my eyes out. I cried for days. I went home and I cried. From that day forward, I did everything in my power to not draw any attention to myself. I did not want anybody to see me or to know that I even exist. In my head, I lived in a box that was inside another box, that was inside another box, that was inside another box,
Many days later.
inside another box and another box and another box after that. And I hid myself in that little tiny box. I'll have minimum interactions with people who I don't know. I had friends. I'm not gonna lie, I had friends. So I would talk to them, but any other persons than that circle, I would not talk to. I would not speak to. I would not make myself known. If I'm in a classroom, I will sit by myself in my corner. In my head, I'm not even in the room. Like I'm invisible in my head. That's how traumatized I became. You understand? And I took on the persona of a shy person where I didn't speak, I didn't go out and make friends. I didn't, I'm not the person who will instigate a conversation. You understand? Because of that persona that I took on, I missed so many opportunities when the Lord would be calling me to certain things because I knew, well, I didn't know at the time, but the Lord wanted to call me to platforms and I would always avoid it. Anytime it came to me, like an opportunity came where I had to be in the spotlight, I would like shoot it down immediately because it was just not for me. I'm too shy. That's what I would tell myself. I'm too shy. I can't speak, you know. And if I try to speak, I will fumble over my words. You understand? If I had a presentation, I could not speak. Like I was a total wreck. Okay. It was when I surrendered my life to the Lord and He started revealing what my purpose was that He revealed to me that, hey, this is not who I called you to be. This is not who you're supposed to be, you know? And that's the funny thing, because the enemy always work on attacking the area where he knows you will be the most powerful in because he knows that I'm supposed to do. He knows the purpose that God has called me to. He knows that I'm supposed to speak. I'm supposed to be on platforms. I'm supposed to be in the spotlight helping others and speaking to people where a lot of eyes is on me. So the enemy, knowing that, attacked me in that way so that he could cripple me from walking into that purpose that he has called me into. You understand? So many times, the area in which God has called you in, that is the area that the enemy would attack you most or try to cripple you. You understand? In that area. The old me could never, but God said, watch me work. I didn't really see myself the way God saw me. You understand? God told me that, hey, you're gonna speak in front of a whole lot of people and influence a whole lot of people. I couldn't see myself doing that. I couldn't even see myself talking like how I'm talking to you right now. But then, doing something like this would be crazy to me. Like, I would be like, you would never catch me doing something like this. You understand? Me starting a podcast where where I would be seen. That would have been so frightening to me. You understand? And when he showed me that, I could not see myself how God saw me at all. I just couldn't imagine myself. But I told myself that, hey, if God said that I can do it, I can do it. No matter if I can see myself doing it or not. Because who am I to tell the manufacturer, right, that I can't do what he created me to do? Can a vehicle tell its manufacturer that it can't drive? Who am I to tell my God that I can't do what he said he created me to do? That's just crazy. Like that's my purpose. That's how he designed me. He designed me specifically to fulfill this purpose. So it doesn't matter if I can see myself doing it. You understand? I just know I have to do it. And if he sees myself doing it, then I can do it. You understand? And that's what I told myself at that time. I didn't believe. I had very little faith in myself. At very little, smaller than a mustard seed. Okay. I had very little faith in myself. I could not see myself doing nothing that the Lord had showed me at the time. But I stepped out in faith and I just moved. I just moved. Even though stepping out was hard and challenging, very challenging, I faced a lot of setbacks. I came across many obstacles where I felt defeated and I said, okay, this is not making any sense because God said I can do this, but yet still there's this big thing in front of me and I can't overcome it. And every time I'm circling this mountain, trying to overcome this mountain, and it feels so big that I cannot even overcome it. And I'm circling and I'm circling and I'm circling until one day I finally overcome it. Like, it was my persistence, it was my determination, it was my resilience that caused me to overcome. So I'm not going to tell you that, hey, taking the path, and following Jesus and following our purpose, it's going to come overnight and it's going to be easy. It was hard work. It was hard work. For me to get to this point right now where I'm talking in front of you on a camera, it took a lot of tears, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of embarrassments, a lot of emotional tantrums and emotional feelings and stuff. It took heartbreaks. It took a lot out of me to get to this point, you know? But I overcame and I defeated that mountain. And now I can testify. I'm a witness right now that God really transforms and He really changes and He really, you know, does a work in us, because where I was when He revealed that vision to me, I saw it as impossible. But with God, nothing is impossible. I am encouraging you that, hey, what God said that you're supposed to do, you can do it. Stop believing the lies of the enemy. Stop taking on a personality and a persona that God did not give you. You understand? He did not give you a spirit of fear. He said that you are bold, you're loved, you're filled with power and with might. Stop taking on stop listening to the lies of the enemy. Stop allowing your trauma to label you. Stop allowing people to label you. Listen, I don't care what the world told you, what your past said, or what the mirror tries to make you believe. God said you're bold, beautiful, called, and chosen. The more you listen to the enemy's lies, the longer you delay your purpose. Stop allowing the devil to rob you of who you were created to be. We are not living stolen anymore. We are reclaiming everything. Identity restored, purpose activated, and fear cancelled. All right, y'all, before I go, let me hit you up with some real talk. You cannot reclaim your identity while still answering to your old name. The enemy called me shy, so I shrank. He called me ugly, so I hid. He called me unworthy, so I settled. But God calls me chosen. God calls me loved. God calls me new. And when I stopped answering to those lies, that was when I finally walked into who I was supposed to be, who I was meant to be. This week, I want you to do one thing. Every time you hear a lie about who you are, I want you to replace it with what God says. If the enemy says you're not good enough, remind him that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. If he says you'll never change, remind him that you are a new creation. Oh, and next week, we're getting into it. If you've ever felt like you need to fix yourself before coming to God, this is your episode. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Love y'all. And remember, your identity is secure in Christ. See you next week.